And now to discuss this, I am joined by a former president, Ijaw Youth Council, Udengs Eradiri. Thank you so much for joining us on the news.
Thank you, and good afternoon, viewers.
Good afternoon to you too. Now, the Nigerian military had promised that there will be no reprisal attacks after 17 military personnel were gruesomely killed at Okoma community. Now, based on the latest revelation by the elder statesman Edwin Clark, to you, is it more of an investigation into this matter or an act of revenge?
Well, the military and security agencies have a right to carry out their responsibilities with respect to investigating the issues that have led us this far. First of all, commensurate with the soldiers and, of course, the community, innocent community members who were caught in the crossfire of this event. And I think that that's in that same vein is where we are discussing about an invasion of an elder statesman's property. But because the elder statesman himself, Chief Edwin Clark, have accepted the apologies from the military and have chosen to forgive them, I may not delve so much into it because I won't be crying more than the bereaved. However, the military need to be more professional about their engagement, their rules of engagement. Going to an elder statesman in a polarized Nigeria as we find ourselves, going into one of our best, one of our greatest leaders in the Niger Delta and, compromising his security in his community home like that, it's something that calls for worry because you never hear that military go and compromise houses of leaders in other parts of the country, especially where Boko Haram is reigning supreme. But to come to premises of one of the revered leaders, a man who has served Nigeria at various levels, a commissioner in those days, a minister, come on. I think that it is something that calls for worry. But like I said, the elder statesman has accepted the apology. The military must be professional in their investigating this matter because the vigor and the tenacity with which they are going about it, if the same portion is done in the north, we would have been able to deal with the challenges of Boko Haram and the rest. Rather,
okay, so that's actually where I'm going now, because we heard that the military troops were attacked and killed recently with their trucks burnt in Zamfara State. A military base in Yobe State was also attacked about 3 days ago. Before now, a similar attack happened in a northern state this year, where a military vehicle was burnt. Now, the question would always arise, why didn't we see same, as you mentioned, or you rightly stated, vigor or aggressiveness in terms of response when it comes to military dealing with the issues of attack on their personnel, as we saw in Delta States?
Well, there are the double standards that you find in Nigeria. Once you do not have a leader in government from your area, the approach and the response you get from civil servants, military, and everything will be going against you. But once they hear that the president is from this angle, or there's a minister, there's a leader in government from this part of the country, the approach is usually different. But you see, these things we have been managing is the reason why Nigeria is almost breaking on our head, where we think that we are hiding our approach towards things. We want to be more sentimental when it is in our side, and when it is in the other person's side, you release all your arsenals. This is why we are where we are. Niger Delta people, we don't condone criminality. You can see that anywhere the boys get to, the people are calling the security agencies to say, we don't see one person here, we don't see one person here. We are not a people that accommodate this kind of criminality. So I know that those who have perpetrated this dastardly act will be brought to book in no distant time. I am only using the opportunity to also call on the northern leaders, the communities in the north, to copy the way the Niger Delta people reject crime in such manner. You can see that everywhere in the Niger Delta, people are pointing fingers, see that there, see where they enter, and the military is on their trail. And hopefully, we will nip this in the bud that it doesn't repeat itself again. But you see, the body lies on the entire security architecture of the country. Their modus operandi, when it comes to their dispensing authority in different parts of the country, is the reason why people sometimes get to the extreme. People say, if this is how you are going to be treating us. The way they carry out their activities, the bunkering going on in the Niger Delta, the people are seeing the role that the security is playing.
So does it mean, are you insinuating, because we've heard reports, are you insinuating or corroborating some speculations that some certain key figures in Delta State use the instrumentation of military personnel to perpetrate crude thefts, illegal bunkering in Delta State, and what happened in Okoma community was a spillover of these activities that have continued for a while? Is that what you're saying?
Well, there are so many dimensions. I'm not talking about Delta State alone. I'm talking about Nigeria.
Let's concentrate on Delta State for now. Yes. Let's concentrate on what happened in Okoma community. Let's concentrate on that.
But the investigation, we are also putting our ears on the ground. We are getting a lot of feelers that it's not just about community conflict. There are a lot of issues surrounding this matter. There are political dimensions to it. There are bunkering and pipeline vandalization aspect to it before the community conflict. So they are all interwound, and in the appropriate time, we'll come up with our position. But anybody who operates in that environment knows where the truth about what happened in Okama lies.
Okay, finally, before I let you go, what do you think the best approach should be when it comes to this investigation that has been conducted by the military, how to get to the root of the matter, and how to quell any sort of vices or criminal elements or situations within and around that particular community, by extension, Delta State?
Are you sure we can be able to profile one solution, a cosmetic solution to this problem? The problem has to do with leadership from the top. The foundation of how we decide leadership in Nigeria have destroyed the fabric of every strata of our society. If we must be looking at dealing with this, the security agencies can nip this one in the bud. Does not mean that it will happen again. It has happened in the past. It will still happen. It's also happening in other parts of the country because leadership have failed to follow its manual as leadership should be in any other part of the world. But here, nepotism, corruption, maladministration, all these ingredients is what have destroyed the very fabric of leadership in our country that is affecting the security agencies. How do we appoint those who lead these organizations? Once we are nepotic about it, then sentiments, favoritism become the order of the day. These things from one layer to the other layer will lead to the point where things break down. That's where our country is now. We need to go back and review our modus operandi in engagement. How do we select leaders? I told you that there's political dimension to it. You saw where two governorship candidates and winner in Bayelsa are throwing stones over this issue, letting you know that there is a foundation that also has his contribution to what happened in Okama. So you see, politics and how we select leadership, the fabric of our country, the things we accept and sometimes think that we have swept under the carpet is what is coming back to haunt our country. It is time to review the leadership structure of this country so that we can begin to get things right from the foundation.
Udengs, Eradiri, thank you so much for your insightful comments. I appreciate that.
Thank you.